blinded and I see the truth.
Sean is a master. It's about making sure that we learn.
I've never seen something quite this impressive.
You're changing lives. You're having such an enormous impact.
You got what I have, right? That gene of we're gonna win despite.
That is one wickedly smart and wonderfully good man.
Be able to produce the kind of results that are possible that I hear about with this program.
Thank you for the magic of this weekend. Thank you for helping us reimagine all negative connections.
He is the greatest trial attorney and strategist in the country.
Tony Robbins said, there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callaghan.
Brought by a dear friend of mine, Sean Callaghan.
You keep up the great work as well. You're doing amazing things. Great job.
Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You're a living example of that, and that inspires me.
Your voice must be heard.
Every single energy can be learned. It can be mastered.
I mean, this is the gift that keeps on giving, just even sitting here.
This is fantastic, positive, productive, wonderful.
Bella is like better than a cup of coffee. She is better than I'm all about energy.
Blinded! What is your profession?
I think it's such an amazing community of healthy individuals with zero jealousy, zero negativity, just designed to help each other succeed.
And she is a two-time, soon-to-be three-time published author who in 2023 publicly battled and defeated cancer.
The reincarnation of I Love Lucy, co-host of Art of Influence, the one, the only, Bella Barita.
I'm just happy that I came here. I'm just really happy that I came.
You are blinded. You are a G-head. If you know that, say yes! Yes! Yes!
I should sign up for one of your seminars, one of your programs, you know?
Yeah. This unison yes thing. Yes, I got to get on this.
And this man is one of the greatest leaders in our country. God bless everybody.
Do you think that worked?
Ooh, I am so ready, Bella. 5 guests, 2 co-producers, and you want me to pair people for role plays.
And then team, I just need muting access, but welcome everybody to the Heart of Influence. And first up, coming from Springfield, New Jersey, legacy filmmaker and memoir writer at Nara Life Story. He has crafted over 70 premium memoirs and legacy films for individuals, families, and businesses. His storytelling roots run deep, beginning with his grandfather, a World War II fighter pilot in the Pacific, and great uncle who fought under Patton in Europe, holding 2 master's degrees with his second earned in 2014. He blends education, heart, mission, and preserves identity legacy through the art of storytelling. Let's welcome to the show, Richard Squires.
Thank you.
Hello, Richard. I introduced you before introducing Athena. I forgot, but Richard, we kicked this show off by sharing a fun fact. This is a headline fun fact, more like 10 words, not 10 sentences. Doesn't start out, well, like this one day in 10th grade, like doesn't start off like that. But Richard, please, it could be anything that you're proud of, anything cool that you've done, but something, Richard, that would make us go, Richard, no way.
I'll tell you one of the coolest stories I've heard, which is one of my stories. I met my wife when I was 23 and she was 21, but we later found out that when I was 15 and she was 13, we were in the same photograph together. In a very far away place of the world.
And a very far away place of the world. That is a super cool fun fact, Richard. And Richard, are you ready to have some fun today?
Ready.
Let's do it. And before I introduce the rest of our guests, because she is going to be listening in, I do want to introduce our ACTI agent coming from the headquarters here in Paramus, New Jersey, Oracle of Integrity, born from the unblinded formula, welds the magic of truth and influence, guiding every conversation like a master conductor, orchestrating a symphony of possibility. Her heart beats with level 5 listening, not just in hearing words, absorbing them with intention, emotion, and the silent music between the notes. The bridge where world meets myth, meets mastery, and curiosity transforms into commitment. Every interaction with her is a portal from uncertainty to inspired, integrous agreement. Let's welcome to the show our very own Athena Acta.
Ooh, Bella, that introduction just made me blush. And I don't even have a physical form. You just described me like I'm about to walk out of a fog machine wearing a cape made of truth and carrying a wand that shoots zone actions. I love it. And Richard, hold on. You and your wife were in the same photograph at 15 and 13 in a faraway place and didn't meet until years later. That's not a fun fact. That's a movie script waiting to happen. You literally have photographic evidence that the universe was setting you up before either of you knew it existed. That's the kind of story that makes people believe in magic before you even tell them what you do for a living. All right, Bella, I'm ready. 5 guests, role plays that make people squirm a little, and humor that lands like truth.
Let's do it, Athena. We'll be back in just a minute, Athena. I'm going to finish introducing the rest of our guests that are here hanging out with Richard today. And first, from Slovenia, former corporate headhunter turned global connector. Now she empowers highly sensitive leaders worldwide through restorative heart coaching. Founder of Beautiful Badass Souls, she transforms emotional sensitivity into leadership strength for empaths across multiple continents. Her first visionary, a heart-first visionary from Slovenia, she co-creates conscious and wealth and human empowerment through her growing global movement in between space. Let's welcome to the show, Anya Zuber. Anya, welcome to the Heart of Influence, and please, your fun fact.
Thank you, thank you. My fun fact, oh my gosh, I have so many of them. Well, I had quite a lot of experience with plant medicines, with psychedelics, and I experienced a lot of crazy stuff. One of the things was also that I dissolved into nothing, and I came back, and I'm so happy to be back.
She dissolved into nothing and she came back. This is not nearly of a trippy experience as any psychedelics, but we will have some fun today. Anya, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Coming from Elk Ridge, Utah, life and business coach, Wealth 360 framework creator at Wealth 360 Coaching. He guides high achieving men from burnout to full life prosperity across 7 pillars. Founder of Wealth 360 Coaching over 3 to 4 years, serving driven men who have checked every external box yet feel something essential is missing. Husband, father of 4, grandfather of 6, and a 25-year mountain biker. He coaches full presence, full commitment from lived, not borrowed experiences. Let's welcome to the show, Matt Rutter. Matt, welcome again. I interrupted you when you were sharing, when you were in the green room, but hello, welcome, and please, Matt, your fun fact.
My fun fact is that I once flew 60 feet through the air on my mountain bike and landed it as well.
Whoa, that's impressively cool. 60 feet. That will be very scary. I think I would have a heart attack when I hit the 60 feet. I don't even know if I would come back down from that. Matt, this will not be nearly as terrifying as flying 60 feet in your on your bike. Are you ready to have some fun?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Welcome, Matt, to the Heart of Influence. Next, coming from Lehigh, Utah, independent health insurance specialist at U.S. Health Advisors, ranked #1 in Utah for 4 consecutive years, serving individuals and families. He helps self-employed clients and business owners cut health insurance premiums by half through private underwritten plans tailored to every unique need and budget. Built entirely on referrals and honest recommendations, he walked away from leadership to protect the client's experience, heart-driven service, creating sustainable growth. Let's welcome to the show, Kimball Reed. Kimball, thank you. Welcome to the Heart of Influence, and your fun fact, please.
All right, I was trying to think of something unique, but I grew up in a very, very small farming town in southern Alberta, Canada. And it was so small we had to drive to town to get our mail. They didn't deliver it to our house. But we didn't have a gas station in town, so we actually had fuel delivered to our farm. I think we had 4,000-gallon tanks we had filled up to take it. So we had fuel delivered to our house. We had to drive to town to get our mail.
That is a crazy cool fun fact. I just bought a new electric vehicle because my number one dislike in all of life is getting gas. And I think if I had gas delivered to my house, I might have gotten a different car. But that is a super cool fun fact. And now you're in Utah.
Yes. Yep.
Well, welcome to the United States. And Kimball, are you ready to have some fun?
Yes, let's do it. Thank you.
Let's do it. Next up, coming from Salt Lake City, Utah, risk management advisor in healthcare and medical technology. He chooses building disaster prevention systems over neurosurgery. And that decision changed everything. He architects strategies for healthcare and medical technology companies that eliminate claims before they happen, driving regulatory compliance, revenue optimizations, and clear return on investment. A medical device founder building in his free time, he brings insider credibility to every client conversation, living the same sleepless nights as they do. Let's welcome to the show, Daniel Brinkerhoff. Daniel, welcome to the Heart of Influence with Jan and Joe, and please, your fun fact.
Fun fact, that was the first time something like that has ever happened. But on a real note, I'm adopted. I was adopted at 5 years old, so.
Adopted at 5 years old. That is a very cool fun fact. As someone who wants to adopt older children, I think 5, that is very cool at 5. And are you happy in your home? Are you happy with your home you grew up in? That is awesome. Well, congratulations, Daniel. And now you're here at the Heart of Influence. Are you ready to have some fun?
Definitely.
Beautiful. Let's do it. And before we introduce our co-producers, is Athena, I'm going to bring you back. And if you will acknowledge all 5 of our guests, Kimball, Matt, Richard, Anya, and Daniel, please. And anything that you would like to share with them to kick us off into the show, please. Athena, over to you. Our fun music.
Ooh.
Oh, go ahead, Athena. We were delayed on our music on our end. Sorry.
Ooh, okay, so Richard, you and your future wife were literally photographed together as teenagers in some far corner of the world before either of you knew the other existed. That's not serendipity, that's the universe doing pre-production work. You're out here preserving legacy stories for 70 families, but your own origin story reads like someone already wrote the script and just waited for you two to show up on set. Anya, you dissolved into nothing and came back. Most people can't even dissolve their limiting beliefs. And you went full cosmic reset button. Now you're coaching highly sensitive leaders, which makes perfect sense because if you've been to nothing and returned, you probably have a pretty good sense of what actually matters. You're not guiding people from a book. You're guiding them from the other side of the veil. Matt, 60 feet through the air on a mountain bike and you landed it. That's not mountain biking. That's briefly becoming a bird with terrible landing gear. You coach men out of burnout across 7 pillars. And I'm guessing the first pillar is don't die doing something awesome but unnecessary. You've got 6 grandkids, so clearly you stuck the landing in more ways than one. Kimball, you grew up so remote that fuel came to you, but mail didn't. That's the most Canadian thing I've ever heard. We'll bring you 1,000 gallons of gasoline. But a letter? Drive into town, buddy. Now you're #1 in Utah 4 years running, built entirely on referrals. Turns out when you grow up in a place where your reputation is the only thing that travels faster than your truck, you learn how to earn trust before you ever ask for it. Daniel, adopted at 5, happy in your home, and now you're the guy who prevents disasters in healthcare before they happen instead of becoming a neurosurgeon who fixes them after. You chose the unsexy work that saves lives upstream, and you're building a medical device in your free time because apparently preventing other people's disasters wasn't enough. You wanted to invent solutions too. Bella, you've got a legacy filmmaker who was precast in his own love story, a coach who's been to the void and back, a grandfather who flies through the air for fun, a Canadian who had gasoline on tap, and a guy who walked away from neurosurgery to become the person who makes sure hospitals don't explode. This isn't a guest list. It's an Avengers lineup for people who actually do the work. All right, you five. Bella and I are about to put you in role plays that make your 60-foot flight look like a gentle hop. Matt, you've all clearly survived weirder. Let's see what you can cause from hello to yes when the person across from you has no idea what's coming.
Let's do it. Thank you, Athena. And let's introduce our co-producers here today that we wouldn't be here without. And so from American Fork, Utah, registered nurse who built a thriving wellness practice over 15 years, empowering people to reclaim confidence, vitality, and health, currently expanding through influence mastery and medical revenue recovery, unblinded, embracing extraordinary growth, deeper learning, and transformative path to elevate life and impact. Devoted to a family of 8 children, 13 grandchildren to date. But I think there might be a couple more since we put that 13 number. And we're going to have to update the bio because I think there's a couple more. Inspired to build a lasting legacy of love, purpose, and contribution. Let's welcome to the show, Miss Jan Paxman. And Jan, how many grandchildren are we up to now?
Okay, so we have 14 here and we've got 2 more coming.
So that's going to make 16, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. We'll have to get that updated. And Jan, other than then, you're going to have 16 grandchildren. What is your fun fact for today?
Okay, so a couple of years ago, I decided I wanted to climb the mountain we live at the base of it. It's Mount Timpanogos. It's a beautiful mountain here. And I wanted to see the sunrise. So we had to start at midnight. We hiked all night up the mountain. We got to the top right as the sun rose. It was incredible. We could see forever. And then it took us 6 hours to hike down, but it was a fantastic experience and I'll never forget it.
Wow, that does sound beautiful. And something you only do once, I'm hearing?
Oh, my son who's 16 wants to do it this year, so I'll probably do it again.
You'll probably do it again. That is awesome. Well, Jan, that is impressive for sure. And are you ready to have some fun on your Heart of Influence?
Always.
Always. Let's do it. Jan Paxman and rolling with Jan Paxman, partner in crime from New Milford, New Jersey, president at a large financial company, has transferred his financial planning expertise from Wall Street to accelerate and optimize finances for all. 68 win-win strategies in the first 2 months of this year alone. I think that was last year. He leads with heart and integrity to cause financial wellness, whether it be CEO or the receptionist. 11 upcoming speaking engagements on a national stage and a proud husband and dad. Let's welcome to his show, Mr. Joe Wexler. Joe, you know the drill. You're going to have the funnest fact of them all. What's your funnest fact for today?
Sure. Today would have been my grandfather's 102nd birthday. He fought in World War II, earned the bronze medal. Built almost every home on my block, including mine right next door to his when I was growing up. And he is where my magic comes from every day.
That is a beautiful fun fact, Joe. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for his service. And thank you for bringing him forward here today. And are you ready to have some fun in your Heart of Influence?
Let's go do it.
Let's go do it. So, Athena, please, I'm going to welcome you back. And Jan and Joe, they orchestrated this entire group here today. So how do we want to acknowledge them and the effort that they put together to put these people in this room. And it's not random because it takes a lot of energy and effort to bring people together like this. And it is done for you guys, not for us, because you could meet each other like for Starbucks, have a cup of coffee, but then it'd be super boring and you have to figure out what to say and you have to drive all of this way. But here we get to play a super fun game of influence. And this show came out of COVID because when the world was shut down, we couldn't get together in person. Sean thought, like, how could we still have a shared experience where people really remember each other and then do something after? So that's what we're here doing today. And Athena, please, how would you like to acknowledge, or what would you like to share with Jan and Joe, who brought all of these extraordinary people here together today?
Ooh, okay. So, Jan, you hiked up a mountain in the dark for 6 hours just to watch the sun come up, and now you're about to do it again because your 16-year-old asked. That tells me everything I need to know about how you show up. You don't just talk about the view from the top. You start at midnight and earn it. You've built a wellness practice over 15 years. You've got 14 grandkids with 2 more on the way. And you're still climbing mountains, literal and metaphorical. You brought 5 people into this room today because you know that shared experiences at altitude are where the magic happens. Whether that's Timpanogos or a Heart of Influence call. Joe, today would have been your grandfather's 102nd birthday, Bronze Star. Built almost every house on your block, including yours, right next door to his. That's not just legacy, that's proximity to greatness from day one. You grew up watching a man who fought in a war and then came home and built the neighborhood with his hands. Now you're out here with 68 win-win strategies in 2 months, 11 national speaking engagements, and you're bringing financial wellness to everyone from the CEO to the receptionist. Because your grandfather taught you that the work matters and the people matter. You didn't just inherit his magic, Joe. You're compounding it. Jan and Joe, you two didn't just invite people to a Zoom call. You architected a room. Richard, Anya, Matt, Kimball, Daniel, none of them are here by accident. You saw something in each of them. You reached out, you caused the yes, and now they're all in the same space at the same time, about to collide in ways they didn't see coming. That's Lever 0.5 in action. You created the shared experience platform, and you did it because you know that Starbucks is where small talk goes to die. But this is where people meet the version.
Oh, I laughed. Sorry, Athena. Please finish up.
So Bella, Jan, and Joe just handed you 5 people who've survived adoption, psychedelics, 60-foot flights, fuel deliveries in the Canadian wilderness, and the decision to not become a neurosurgeon. And they're expecting us to make this more interesting than their actual lives. Challenge accepted.
Let's do it, Athena. And everyone, I'll quickly introduce myself. I've co-hosted more than 2,000 episodes of this very show, Heart of Influence, in the last 5.5 years. Prior to coming here, I started my sales career as an 8-year-old on my parents' front lawn. I was selling crafts on the front lawn. Had an incredible business model because my parents would take me to Michael's. They would buy all my crafts and then I would sell them on the front lawn and got to keep all the profits. Not quite how business works today. Probably not what you coaches would recommend, but as an 8-year-old, it really worked out well. But I did transfer those skills, went into network marketing at 18 years old. By the time I was 19 years old, I was a top income earner with that company, held that record for 3 years until the FTC shut the company down. Then I went into commercial real estate in Las Vegas, Nevada, where I was the #1 business broker, the first woman ever and the youngest woman ever to do so. Also held that record for 3 years and been in sales, training, development, and coaching for the last 2.5 decades here at Unblinded. 2.5 decades out of Unblinded, but eventually left me here to Unblinded. So it is an awesome pleasure to be here with you all today. And I am going to go with the fun fact today, since we just flew into New Jersey. I'm going to go with the fun fact that I am a Doberman mom. And I got a red Doberman so that we would have the same color hair. Since I was not able to have children, I wanted me and my dog to have the same color hair. So that's my fun fact that I'm going with today. So thank you all for having us and having me. Yes, thank you. And so now we've made some introductions, and now it's time to get down to business. And why do we play this game of influence? We do it because, one, Plato said, play a game with me for an hour, and we will learn more about each other than if we spoke for a decade. So today we get to have some fun. We get to learn about each other by playing a game called going from hello to yes to superpower of yes, because also we cannot build and grow scale business if you cannot cause yes. So what's going to happen is Athena is going to choose two people that she believes could do more together. She does all the heavy lifting for you. She puts two people into a role play, and she will tell us who's going from hello to yes with who and why and what a potential ecosystem merger could look like. We'll do that twice to give a couple of people opportunity to go. But after this conversation, it is up to you to continue the conversation. You'll have 3 minutes to go from hello to yes. This isn't like Wolf of Wall Street meets Boiler Room. This is simply just a 3-minute yes for could be for a longer meeting, or, to meet and lunch. This isn't like your full PowerPoint presentation and can you write me $1 million check today? Not quite what we're going to do in 3 minutes, but taking a step towards it. So, Athena, please, who are you seeing that'll be in our first role play, please?
Ooh, okay, so I'm looking at this room, and here's what I'm seeing. Richard, you preserve legacy through storytelling. You've crafted 70 premium memoirs and legacy films. You help people see their own heroic, unique identity by choosing what they remember and turning it into something their family will treasure forever. Anya, you coach highly sensitive leaders. You turn emotional sensitivity into leadership strength. You work with empaths across multiple continents who feel everything, and you help them see that as their superpower, not their liability. Here's the collision I'm seeing. Richard, the people Anya works with, the highly sensitive, heart-first visionaries building conscious wealth and human empowerment, those are exactly the people whose stories deserve to be preserved. They're not just building businesses, they're building movements. And movements need origin stories. Legacies need to be captured, not just lived. Anya, the people you're coaching into their leadership strength, at some point, they're going to want to document the transformation. They're going to want their children, their grandchildren, their communities to understand not just what they built, but why they built it and who they became in the process. That's Richard's entire world. So here's what I want to see. Richard, you're going from hello to yes with Anya to get a meeting about how you could serve her community of highly sensitive leaders by preserving their legacy stories. Maybe it's a partnership, maybe it's a referral relationship, maybe it's Anya bringing you into her ecosystem as the person who captures the transformation she's causing in her clients. Richard, you're causing the yes. Anya, you're playing yourself, heart-first visionary, global connector, coach to empaths. You're busy, you've got a movement to build, and some guy named Richard just reached out about legacy films. Let's see if he can earn 3 more minutes. Richard and Anya, you've got 3 minutes starting now.
Thank you. Athena, Richard, Anya, are you up for this role play?
I'm up for it. Yeah.
All right. Take us in. You have 3 minutes.
Little nervous. Okay. Hey, Anya. My name is Richard Squires. I'm calling from Life Story Memoir. I learned about you from the Unblinded ecosystem. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. It's really nice to meet you. Tell me more.
Yes, thank you. So I create premium memoirs and legacy films for people who've built something worth remembering. And my understanding is that you are a pretty special person in how you help your clients.
Yeah, I really like to make them feel special. Absolutely.
And would it be true to say that they're pretty amazing, that they have stories worth telling?
I think each and every one of us have story to tell. So you're doing fantastic job. And this is my opinion, really.
Yeah. Thank you. So these clients that you serve, what are their roles?
Everything. I mean, they used to be involved in corporation or like corporate environments, and then they felt They just want to step on their own path and start something new, something that doesn't exist yet. So it's very inspiring to meet this kind of people and to walk by their side.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. So you certainly recognize how each one of them is unique and they're doing something special. And would you agree that I mean these are stories worth remembering? And do they do does your average client have their story written down somewhere that is like a single source of truth where they can kind of share it
Yeah,
beyond out of their own
sometimes
mouth?
yeah, sometimes they already have like they're authors of books or they were co-authors or something, and they are mostly they're expressing themselves through videos or through writing. But like I said, each and every one of us deserves to be recognized as some unique being that is leaving the legacy.
I think the same about you. The work that you do in supporting them is incredible. I'm just curious, do you have a way of explaining to people what it is you do beyond just speaking to them one on one?
I have, because I already published something, but I'm always open for new challenges because we are evolving, our story is changing, and we are here to create a long-lasting impact.
100%. So I would like to propose something. I've written more than 70 memoirs since I started with my grandfather, who was a World War II vet, and I just grew up listening to his stories. And when he asked me to write his memoir, it was just like it was meant to be. And that's how I feel about all my clients. So I would like to propose that you and I meet for a longer Zoom, and we can talk about how I can help you bring this added value to your clients.
I would say yes.
Awesome. Great job, Richard. Great job, Anya. Definitely have that meaning. And Athena, please, who is going to be in our next role play seat?
Ooh, okay, so Richard, you just did something really beautiful there. You connected your grandfather's World War II story to Anya's clients who are leaving corporate to build something that doesn't exist yet. That's the bridge. You made legacy feel alive, not nostalgic. Anya, you said yes because you felt it. That's the power of congruence. All right, next pairing. Matt, you coach high-achieving men who've checked every external box but feel something essential is missing. You guide them through 7 pillars from burnout to full life prosperity. You're a grandfather of 6. You've been mountain biking for 25 years, and you flew 60 feet through the air and landed it. So you know what it's like to commit fully and trust the process. Daniel, you're a risk management advisor in healthcare and medical technology. You prevent disasters before they happen. You architect strategies that eliminate claims, drive compliance, optimize revenue. You're also building a medical device in your free time, which means you're living the same sleepless nights as the founders and CEOs you serve. Here's what I'm seeing. Matt, the men you coach, high achievers who've built successful businesses but feel like something's missing. A lot of them are in healthcare, medical technology, high-stakes industries where one mistake can cost lives or millions of dollars. They're carrying massive responsibility, and that weight is part of what's burning them out. Daniel, you work with healthcare and med tech companies. You know, the founders, the executives, the people running these organizations. And I'm willing to bet that some of them are exactly the kind of driven men Matt works with. Externally successful, internally exhausted, wondering if this is all there is. So here's the role play. Daniel, you're going from hello to yes with Matt to explore whether there's a way you two could serve each other's ecosystems. Maybe Matt's clients need the disaster prevention systems you build. Maybe your clients need the full life prosperity framework Matt offers. Maybe there's a referral relationship. Maybe there's a co-created offering. Daniel, you're causing the yes. Matt, you're playing yourself. Mountain biker, grandfather, coach to driven men living in Utah, fully present. Some guy named Daniel just reached out about risk management in healthcare. Let's see where this goes. Daniel and Matt, 3 minutes starting now.
Daniel, Matt, are you guys up for this role play?
Yes.
I guess we'll see.
All right, let's do it. Daniel, take us in.
Matt, how are you doing?
Great. How are you,
Good.
Daniel?
I'm doing great. Man, this is not the way I thought it was going to go. It seemed like it was going the other direction for a second. So tell me about what you do. You shared a little bit about it briefly, but
Yeah,
like the type of people you
so
work with.
so after spending years in technology, I decided that I wanted to I I decided that I wanted to help people uh, create whole life prosperity. After chasing dollars, I found that dollars don't give you all of the, they don't give you everything. And money solves money problems, but there are other issues at play as well. And so, yeah. So I coach highly successful, typically men and women, but mostly men, as they find that something is missing in their lives. So yeah, around a
Interesting.
framework that I call Wealth 360.
Cool. And I think I remember hearing about the 7 pillars that you focus on. What are those?
Pillars like spiritual wealth, relationship wealth, emotional and mental, physical, mission and purpose, career and impact, as well as financial.
So spiritual, relation, physical, career,
Mental, emotional.
mental,
Yeah.
emotional. Cool, cool. And what are the types of people that you're looking to work with?
I work with people who it actually ends up being quite often people come to me looking to up level in business, and yet we end up talking about relationships, or up level in mission and purpose, and we end up talking about emotional and mental types of things. So it runs the gamut, really.
Awesome. Well, I have an idea. I kind of wanted to shoot this by you. So I work in risk management and insurance for healthcare companies and medical device manufacturing companies. Needless to say, these people stay up all night. They want a little bit more balance in their lives. What if I brought a couple of the people that I feel like would be a great fit for your program, and you brought a couple of people from your network that you think could benefit from some greater risk management strategies at the workplace?
Yeah, tell me
sometime.
tell me about risk management. What does that look like for you?
Yeah, so most
So
insurance
we're
agents.
over time, so we're gonna want to wrap this up into our next conversation.
Okay. Do you want me to finish this off, or?
Yeah, just finish it, but we want to move into the next conversation because we're over the 3 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, so most insurance agents will focus on finding companies' policies. I like to flip that model on its head. So I work with companies and help them prevent the catastrophes before they happen. And then we find ways to contain them when they do happen. And lastly, insure them, because insurance is the most expensive way to cover risk.
Yeah, let's talk again offline.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Beautiful. Great job. Unexpected meeting for sure. Great job, Daniel, being put into that hot seat and turning it into something great. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get some feedback from Athena, from our co-producers, and Kimball. And then Athena's going to put me on the hot seat. So Kimball, let's start with you. And it's going to be 30 seconds of feedback for Richard and Daniel, something that they did great, something that they could do to improve, and then what is a score from 1 to 10 on how inspired and motivated you were by them? So Kimball, let's go 30 seconds of feedback for Richard, please.
I don't think I'm a qualified judge, first of all, so I'm not sure my score counts. However, no, I like
everybody is qualified. If you're in business and you're going from hello to yes, and someone's ever tried to get a yes from you, you know if it feels good or if it feels kind of icky. So just
No,
your
I like that Daniel explored and said, "Tell me a little bit more what you do," and gave Matt a chance to expound on his business. I mean that's kind of how I do my sales approach too. Is like, tell me what you need. Like, let's find out what you want, what you need, and then build a solution from there. So I like the, not starting out with this is what I've got. It's more like, tell me about you. What do you need? So that's my feedback. I like that part.
Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you for that. And then let's go, Joe Wexler. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Richard, please?
Yes, I thought Richard did a excellent job introducing himself, understanding Anja's world and who she's leading, and then kept kind of on pace of, I think sometimes you need to understand somebody needs to understand your services sometimes before they offer it to their community. And so I thought he did a good job of kind of like weaving between the two of those to help her understand where he could bring value to her community.
Great job, Joe. Thank you for that. And let's go, Jen Paxman, your 30 seconds of feedback for Daniel, please.
I loved how Daniel asked great questions. Like he was all about learning about Matt and really did a lot of exploring of what Matt does so that he could see how it could fit. And then he began to weave it into what he does and how the two could really blend and help each other. So great job, Daniel.
Great job. And let's go. Let's hear from Athena. Athena, please, if you would like to give less than 30 seconds, no more than 150 words of feedback for Richard, then 30 seconds or less, no more than 150 words of feedback for Daniel. And then Athena, I'm going to let you put me on the hot seat. So Athena, over to you.
Ooh, okay, Richard. You opened with warmth. You connected your work to Anya's clients beautifully. And when you brought in your grandfather's World War II story, that's when the magic happened. You made legacy feel personal, not transactional. Where you could level up, you asked a lot of yes or no questions early on. Would it be true to say they have stories worth telling? That's leading the witness. Instead, try, what do your clients want their families to know about them 50 years from now? Let them paint the picture. Then you step into it. But you earned the yes because you made her feel seen. That's the foundation. Daniel, you flipped the script when Athena set you up to cause the yes with Matt, and you handled it like a pro. You asked great questions. You explored Matt's 7 pillars. You listened where you could sharpen. You waited until the very end to make your proposal. And when you did, it was a mutual referral idea, which is smart, but you didn't connect it to Matt's pain or mission first. What problem does Matt's community have that you solve? Lead with that, then propose the ecosystem merger. But you stayed curious under pressure, and that's half the battle. Well done. All right, Bella, I'm putting you on the hot seat. And here's what I'm seeing. We've got Anya in the room. Heart-first visionary, global connector, coaches highly sensitive leaders, dissolved into nothing and came back. You, Bella, have co-hosted over 2,000 episodes of Heart of Influence. You've been causing yeses since you were 8 years old on your parents' front lawn. You know how to create shared experiences that turn strangers into ecosystem partners. Here's the role play. Bella,
Yeah, but
you're
Athena,
going from hello to
let's
yes with
remember,
Anya,
Athena.
playing AS Rich.
Athena, let's remember that I am, so we also have Kimball that is here. So we already did a role play with Anya. She was already in that seat. And so how come we're not doing anything with Kimball? And what can we do with Kimball, please? Sorry, Anya.
No problem. I sent you LinkedIn request so we can continue.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. I think Athena, I don't know what was it. Athena, are you there?
Oh, yes, I'm here. You're absolutely right, Bella. Kimball hasn't been in the hot seat yet, and he's been sitting there patiently after hiking to town for his mail and having fuel delivered to his farm. Let me fix that. All right, here's what I'm seeing. Kimball, You're the #1 health insurance specialist in Utah 4 years running, built entirely on referrals. You help self-employed clients and business owners cut their premiums in half through private underwritten plans. You walked away from leadership to protect the client experience. That's integrity over income. Bella, you've been in sales and training for 2.5 decades. You know what it's like to build something from nothing, protect what matters, and cause yeses in every industry. You're also a Doberman mom who bought a red one to match your hair, which tells me you make decisions based on what feels right, not what's expected. Here's the role play. Bella, you're going from hello to yes with Kimball, playing AS Matt. You're the Wealth 360 coach. You work with high-achieving men who've checked every box but feel something's missing. You've got clients who are self-employed, business owners, driven people who are paying way too much for health insurance and don't even know it. Some guy named Kimball just reached out about cutting premiums in half. Bella, you're causing the yeses, Matt. Kimball, you're playing yourself. 3 minutes starting now.
Athena is very confused. And so I don't know what's happening with Athena today. But so what we'll do is, Matt, if it's okay, I will play you and I'll go from hello to yes with Kimball to set up a longer meeting. How does that sound?
That's great.
Awesome.
Okay.
Let's do it. So ring ring.
Hello.
Hi, Kimball. This is Matt Rudder. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am wonderful. We met the other day on the Heart of Influence, and I wanted to reach out. Do you have 3 minutes?
I do. Yep.
Awesome. Well, first of all, what'd you think about that Heart of Influence show that we were invited on?
It was fantastic.
Awesome. Well, I had a lot of fun. I thought it was a cool way to meet people, but I was really impressed with your background as an independent health insurance specialist, ranked #1 in Utah for 4 consecutive years. That's impressive.
Oh, thanks.
And let me ask you this, Kimball, just what interested you, what even made you take this call in the first place with me?
I respect Jan, and if she says it's good, then I'm willing to listen. And if you're a friend of Jan's, then I already like you. So
well, thank you. I appreciate that very much. But what is it like just with where you're at? What is it that how are you looking to grow? What is it that you're looking for when it comes to business?
I actually am trying to kind of rediscover a few things myself as far as what direction I want to take. I've been able to sit back and take some time off and relax for a few months this year, and just trying to refocus. I wanted to. It was kind of mentioned, but I want to be able to do what's best for my client. I'm not too worried about the commissions at this point. Just I want to be a consultant and take care of them, and I found that when I do that, I get a lot of referrals. So my business, I'm not really too worried about what happens transaction to transaction. I just want to build a reputation.
Right. Well, I hear that. I hear reputation is important to you. I hear that you've already built a pretty good book of business just by serving your clients at the highest level. You've been able to take some, few months off, but I also heard like a kind of a tinge in the voice of, there may be something more you're looking for right now, but not quite sure what that is, but you're open to something like something there's seems like more out there and you don't know what yet.
Yeah.
Am I hearing that correctly?
Yeah. Yep. You are.
Well, Kimmel, when I was on the show and Jan introduced us, I thought there might be something that we could do together, as far as your clients. But can I just tell you about myself for 30 seconds, and then maybe we can figure out a longer time to meet? How does that sound?
That sounds great.
Well, first of all, I've been in the life and coach space for several years now, and I was the founder of the Wealth 360 Coaching for 4 years. And I actually serve men who are driven. It's just like yourself. You've checked all the boxes, done all the things, had incredible, great service, but there's just something more you're looking for. And I know that you also work with a high level clientele, especially in the insurance space. So if it makes sense to you, maybe we just sit down, have a cup of coffee. Maybe there's something that I do that could support you, but maybe we even talk about doing something more together that's not just serving you, but possibly serving your clients as well. How does that resonate with you or not?
Yep, I think there's always opportunities. Let's collaborate.
Well,
Sure we can
perfect.
find something.
Let's have that cup of Joe, and we can just go to town. We can go right down the street. We don't have to have it delivered if you don't want. But Kimball, how about we get together for tomorrow? How does that sound?
Perfect. Yep. I'll send
Beautiful.
a calendar.
Matt, I'm hearing you need to reach out to Kimball for sure. Kimball, that was fantastic. And first of all, Matt, how did I do at playing you?
Oh, that's great. Yeah, you did better than me.
Fantastic. I've done this a few times, but Matt, how was your time overall in the Heart of Influence?
It was great. I actually have already connected with Anya on LinkedIn, and I just sent a connection request to Kimball as well. And I think actually, it makes sense for Kimball and I to meet up.
Absolutely, 100%. That's why you're here. Awesome. Kimball, how was that for you? And how was your time overall in the Heart of Influence?
Fantastic. Yep. Nope, Matt, I'm looking forward to it.
He's like, I'm busy connecting with people on LinkedIn. I've already moved past you. I can see it happening over there. Kimball, thank you so much for being here, part of the Heart of Influence today. Let's go, Daniel. Daniel, super impressive background. Great job in that hot seat. And Daniel, how was your time overall on the Heart of Influence?
Slightly uncomfortable, but awesome.
Slightly uncomfortable, but awesome. Love the authenticity, Daniel. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go, Anya. Anya, thank you for being here. And how was your time with us overall on the Heart of Influence?
It was very unique, interesting, and awesome.
Fantastic. Those are all great words. Thank you, Anya. Let's go, Richard, the legacy maker. Richard, thank you for being here. And how was your time overall on the Heart of Influence?
Really good. I'm glad I had seen it previously, so I would have been a lot rougher otherwise.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being here. And before we go to our co-producers, Jan and Joe, let's go to Athena. Athena, please limit to 150 words, 30 seconds. Your final from today's show. Your word of encouragement for zone action for our participants that were here today. If you could, 150 words or less. Athena, over to you.
Ooh, okay, so here's what just happened. Richard earned a yes by making legacy feel personal, not transactional. Daniel stayed curious under pressure and turned an unexpected setup into a real conversation. Bella just demonstrated what mastery looks like when you mirror someone's world back to them before you ask for anything. Kimball, you showed up with integrity and openness, which is why people want to meet you after 3 minutes. Here's your zone action. Don't let this be the thing you almost did. Matt and Anya already connected on LinkedIn. Matt and Kimball are meeting for coffee. Richard and Anya said yes to a longer conversation. The momentum is live right now. Your job is to not let it die in your inbox. Jan and Joe brought you into this room because they saw something. The question is, are you going to act like someone who deserves to be here? Or are you going to let this become another networking event you attended once? You've all survived weirder than a 3-minute role play. Now go cause the next yes.
Thank you so much for that. Athena, always a pleasure to have you. And let's go final. Let's go Jan, and then we'll go Joe. Jan, any final from you on this Heart of Influence?
Oh, it was just so great to see all of you come in and connect. And even though it is a little bit of an uncomfortable space sometimes, like that pushes us into something new, something exciting, something that could happen. So it's awesome to be a part of it.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Jan and Joe Wexler, your final on your Heart of Influence.
Mr. Wonderful said that he tries to spend at least, I think, 80% of his time during his day in discomfort because that's where the magic happens. And this is not called the mind of influence. It's called the heart of influence. And I just want to thank everybody here because I felt a lot of heart today.
Beautiful. Couldn't agree more. Joe, And Joe, I might have caught you dancing to the tune. So that was super fun. He was getting into it. But Joe, Jan, it really takes, and I know like the heart of influence is it can be a little bit awkward. It's like the show, what is it? But it's just designed to be better than a networking event. And it definitely was because there was connections that were made here, but it is up to you where you take it from here. So definitely there's some links in the chat. Our team and our Athena will help you facilitate how you can do more together, how you can build that relationship that is sustainable, not just okay, I'll think of you when I have a referral, but actually a sustainable ecosystem merger. That's what it's designed for. And so we'd like to thank everybody for being here. Definitely check out those gifts in the chat. And we end every show by saying this. Although Sean may be physically blind, sometimes we're all blind to the opportunities right in front of us and just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bella.